Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to SCR Sports Picks. My name is Peter the Low Shack. Jimmy the Bag is out today on a very well-deserved break, so I am going to be doing the morning show solo. Jimmy may be back for the afternoon. I'm not exactly sure, but I know he had a very nice day in NFL. I know a lot of people had nice days in NFL yesterday, and it will be interesting to break down the card. I'm going to look at NHL, NBA, a little bit of college basketball, and of course the big NFL game tonight. And I'll start off by saying that I'm thinking that Seattle might be the play here. I'm not exactly sure if I am seeing what I'm seeing, what I think I'm seeing, but I am thinking that Seattle might be the play here. Of course, we will discuss that when we get to the the NFL segment. Let me take a quick sip here. And look at some opening comments and see if anyone has any opinions. I'm really going to need your guys' help today in helping me suss out NBA and NHL. Of course, in NBA, I like to make my opinions and decisions known in the afternoon show when I have more knowledge of what the line movements are, more information that I get from Twitter and the internet. So I'm going to just be giving a cursory overview of the NBA card today, and then making my official plays and decisions in the evening show. Let's look at who's in the comment section. Kyle Jack says, "What's up, guys? Going to be the first show I actually catch from the start in ages." Shout out to you, Kyle Jack. Thanks for being back with us. Huge shout out to Bob Berube and Maxwell Smart. Hello, All-Star Cappers. Maxwell Smart coming off another winning day in college basketball. Follow Maxwell Smart on Twitter. He is definitely doing great things in college basketball with his compatriots on Twitter. All right, let's see. Shout out to Annie Marak. Abazaba78 says Seattle is the play. That's what I was thinking about. We'll discuss all the factors when we get to that segment of the show. But I am definitely thinking that Seattle is the play. I did already bet it at -3, and we'll see if everyone agrees with me. All right, so let's see. Mark Jones says, "Wish I jumped on the Giants play. That was the most obvious situational play of the day." Yes, and Jimmy the Bag was saying that. He was on the Giants. A lot of people were telling him that it was, the trap of the century, trap of the week, trap of the month, all that. He stuck to his guns. I'm proud of him for that. And the Giants, of course, cashed very easily. Mark Jones talked about how it was a situational play and very obvious. And shout out to everyone who recognized that and had the Giants. All right, let's see. Alex Everly says, "What is Maxwell Smart's Twitter?" I believe it's KOTJ and then maybe a few other letters or numbers. I don't quite remember, but I think the first 4 letters are KOTJ. All right. Mark Jones says Kirk Cousins is 5-24 against winning teams. Yes, we know that. Kirk Cousins is a guy who, a mediocre NFL quarterback who nevertheless has a peculiar history of not doing well against winning teams and having his teams, lose straight up and against the spread against the better teams. All right. So let's see. Bob Berube says, "I bet it Friday, thinking the Hawks line might move. No such luck, but love them to win this game." Yeah. Bob Berube liking the Hawks as well. I'm sure some people will come in saying they like Minnesota, and we'll get their opinions when that does happen. All right, let's see. All right, Maxwell Smart has posted his Twitter. Thank you, Maxwell Smart. Okay, let's see what we have here. Other comments. Mark Sanchez has played his last game in the NFL. I think we saw that coming. Shout out to Yo Pete. Yes, Eddie Euler says, "Someone here predicted Eagles Cowboys OT. Nice call. Shout out to you, Eddie Euler." Absolutely. Darryl Lyles on the over in Monday Night Football. Michael Munoz liking Seattle. All right. So Andy Marak absolutely on Vikings. I think Seahawks have had an easy road, and this is a must win for Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, the issue with Seattle, again, is just, I think that Seattle they're run heavy, and that's going to help them in this game. I think Cousins has benefited from turnovers recently that might even out. And I just don't necessarily like their running game. And it's just in general, Russell Wilson tends to do better as the seasons go on. At the end of the year, Russell Wilson tends to do better. We've seen that in previous years. I think we're seeing it again this year. And I think Wilson's going to have another good game. I think the running game is going to be a big factor for Seattle. They're going to not have probably the turnover a differential will favor them. I expect Wilson to have a good game. And yeah, I mean, it's just that the key for Minnesota is their defensive pressure, right? When they get sacks, they win. When they don't, they lose. And we know that Seattle has issues on the offensive line, but Wilson, usually can avoid sacks, and again, gets better at the end of the season. So I'm thinking that the matchups indicate that the Seahawks are probably the play. But I would love to know why Andy Marak likes the Vikings. Ninja 13 says, why you guys like the Vikings? Ninja 13, only Andy Marak has liked the Vikings based on what I have seen. Baseball Bob, Seattle most definitely the play. Abba Zaba, the only one I'm seeing is Andy Marak. All right, so let's see. And Neil Frank says, only starting cornerback from Minnesota is Rhodes, and he's banged up. Expect big plays from Lockett. Eddie Orler says, Russell Wilson props over. That makes sense as well. Yes, Q Peso says, Seahawks number 1 in rushing. Yeah, I expect a good day from Russell Wilson, a good day from the Seahawks in terms of their rushing game, and I expect that Minnesota's strength, which is defensive pressure, maybe not as good as it is in the games where they dominate. All right. So Abba says Cousins, it seems like a completely different Cousins now. He's lost his confidence. Steve Davies likes the Hawks. And Kyle Jack says Vikings put something together tonight, Pete. Brant Hunt says, Pete, we owe you an apology. You were right all along about those Colts. Well, yeah. I give a lot of opinions on these shows. Many of them are right. Many of them are wrong. A small percentage of them are pushes. But I did give in the beginning of the season the Colts season win total over. Got a lot of crap for that. A lot of people saying that I was making a mistake there, making a big mistake there, saying the Colts roster was terrible. My whole idea was just that it was predicated on, Andrew Luck coming back and being healthy. Colts roster was subpar in terms of relative to the NFL, but probably better than what the Colts had the last time Luck was healthy. And I just figured that a healthy Luck with any kind of reasonable roster would result in 7 or more wins, and that one definitely was the right call in retrospect. All right, Big Ragu says, "Send me all the Vikings money, please, thanks." All right, let me just look. Oh, and Troy V have the winning prop bet tonight. Tyler Lockett first touchdown plus 900, and that goes in line with some other comments we have seen saying that Lockett is likely to have a big day, and that Minnesota is vulnerable in their secondary. Just looking at some comments here. And yeah, Kyle Jack and Andy Marak and anyone else who's liking the Vikings tonight, if you wouldn't mind letting us know what factors you're seeing that you think is Rico Money likes Minnesota +3. Just tell us what you think is going to be the factor. You think that Minnesota's just going to have a ferocious defensive pressure and Wilson's going to be running for his life the whole game? Let us know why you're liking Minnesota here. I am thinking that Seattle would be the play. Maxwell Smart liking Winnipeg puck line and Vancouver money line. Oh, those are sick calls by Brent Brooks. Okay, that's from yesterday. All right, let's see. Just scanning comments here. Eddie Orler says Ottawa Senators are suddenly an under team. Yes, we were expecting that a little bit when they talked about how they were going to try to make defensive improvements a few weeks ago. Didn't happen immediately, but it has slowly started to happen, and they have started to go under, and they might be a good underplay today as well. Hold on, let me just refresh myself. Oh, no, right. Ottawa was from yesterday, right. What's the under team? Oh, right, the Pittsburgh Islanders under is what I was thinking about today. We will talk about that one. Let me see. Troy V had Skins team total under 18.5 as his big play, and that was also one that Jimmy the Bag had. Yeah, the Skins were just a big fade, an obvious fade in retrospect. And we'll move on. This will probably be a modest-paced show because I don't have Jimmy the Bag here to do breakdowns and take over when I need to read comments and look something up here on SBR odds. But we'll have a good show. Hopefully, we'll have some good comments. King Rail says Warriors -10. Pete, take it now. Okay, we will discuss that when we get into the comment section. And again, there will be a little bit of dead air here and there as I open pages with my mouse. And as I take care of whatever needs to be taken care of in shows. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the NHL. Let me pull up my notes here. All right, NHL. Pittsburgh and the Islanders. Pens are off the loss to Ottawa. That was the game that went under. Another under for Ottawa. And I was thinking maybe under again. The Islanders are just not a very good team. I'm not sure that the Pens are going to be fully explosive here offensively. Lehner is in goal. And that's not great. Although Lehner was good in his last outing, you just don't quite know what you're going to get from Lehner. Is he the kind of guy who's going to be able to string good performances in a row, or is he going to be up and down? It feels like, as of right now, kind of unreliable and probably going to be a little bit up and down. He's had some good starts recently, though. Give him credit for that. And he had a minor undisclosed injury in the last 2 games. Now, with Lehner's history, that makes you scratch your head. Minor undisclosed injury. What could that be? Could be anything. Undisclosed could be anything. Definitely cause for concern. On the other hand, his recent games where he actually has played have been good. So that's cause for positivity. And I would be thinking that that the under might be worth a shot here at 6.5. It has gotten bet down. It opened at 6.5 on the under at plus money, and it's now down to minus 105 or minus 110 market wide. So the market has definitely taken a move to the under in Pittsburgh Islanders. Let me pull up one of my other sheets here. Again, there's going to be some downtime in this show because there's a lot of sheets that I look at, a lot of databases, a lot of references that I look at, and I'm going to have to pull those things up on camera while I'm looking for them. All right, so my sheet here, let me just quickly check what my sheet here would say about the money lines on this game. Let me just find it, scrolling down, December 10th. Yeah. The only play on the money line that I'm actually thinking might have a little bit of decent value, surprisingly, even as a favorite, is Detroit. Right? LA has definitely started to pick things up offensively. They had a good game offensively recently. Let me just find that one. Find this one. Hold on one second. Let me refresh my memory and pull up my notes on this game. Yeah, my thoughts on this card were the under in the Pittsburgh game, maybe Detroit on the money line at anything minus 120 or better. Lean to the under as well in the Detroit and LA game. And then, of course, the Rangers-Tampa Bay game, just a massive, massive favorite line for Tampa Bay. Hard to say if there's any value there. My guess is that the line at Tampa Bay at about, minus 250, minus 260 is just about right. It crept up to 300. Probably that would be a situation where you'd want to hold your nose and take the Rangers. If it dropped down to 220, 210, that would be a spot where you might want to be thinking about taking Tampa Bay on the puck line or minus one. At about 250, 260, it looks just about dead on to me. And same thing with the San Jose big favorite line. But Detroit looks a little bit low. Thinking about the under in LA, Detroit, and thinking about Pittsburgh Islanders under as well. Let's see if there's any comments coming in that can help us here. Eddie Oil is leaning Kings and under. Okay, let me see. Black Baller says, yes, Pete, agree, Pete, and home advantage from Detroit. Tom Marino says, tough NFL card. It is a tough NFL card, Tom Marino. I was looking at these games, and again, Detroit under, and Pittsburgh under were what I was thinking about. Black Baller says, good odds for Red Wings. That's what I was thinking. Let me see. Hold on one second. Other comments coming in. Now people are commenting on the comments, I think. Wait, Rem Most had a comment. Where is that one? Let me find that comment. Rem Most says Pete looks nervous today. Yeah, it's just that it's always tough to host a show on your own when you have to get all of the notes and do all the analysis yourself. Maintain the entertainment value, maintain the brisk pace. It's just very stressful. Jim Rome's a dude said, start doing drugs, Pete. Nope, not going to happen. If it helped me, it would happen. If I thought it would help me, it would happen. I don't think it would help me. All right, so let's see. Eddie Oilu says Pete is doing a fine job. Yeah, it says, Mr. Peters, can you shout out Noli Knows? He's the real MVP. Shout out to you, Noli Knows, guys who kills totals day in and day out in our comment section. All right, Mr. Goxer likes New Jersey and San Jose State overs. Yeah, let me just find that game here again. New Jersey and San Jose State. San Jose. Obviously, New Jersey has been very, very strong offensively recently and giving up goals. They're on a back-to-back as well, and the goaltending in this game is questionable at best. Jones is a guy who can be scored on. Mohamed Joma talked about that a lot in previous shows about how Jones is a goaltender who can be scored on and who is vulnerable, especially when he goes down low. If you look at his technique, New Jersey a huge overtrender on the road this year, and San Jose a big overtrender at home. So I can't say that I disagree with a play on the over. And then the total has gotten bet up. Makes me a little bit nervous. But my plays right now would be Detroit under, Detroit money line, and the Islanders on the under. And by definition, then, you would also be thinking that LA on the team total under. If you like in Detroit and you like the under, then you'd also, by definition, like the LA Kings team total under. Let's look for some other comments that are coming in. JC Alvarez says, Pete, some of your best work has been on solo runs. Believe in yourself, Pete. I sure do. Yes, absolutely, JC Alvarez. Monday mornings are always a little bit tough, a little bit sluggish anyway. All right, so let's see. SportsBetter 609 says, leaning LA Kings. Quick listed likely. Yes, I'm seeing that Quick is listed, although not necessarily confirmed. Let's see. Other comments that I'm looking at. All right, here we go. Gin Rummy, who does have a spreadsheet a model and gives us his opinions, likes the Islanders, and he likes the Detroit Red Wings at minus 110. I was seeing minus 120 for the Red Wings. Has that line moved in their favor? Let me just scan down. Oh, yeah. 110 is available. Oh, man. So the line has moved in LA's favor. I was worried. I was concerned that the line was going to move in Detroit's favor and that I'd be looking at like a minus 130 or so here. Now, though, it's down to minus 110. LA is definitely improving offensively, as I suspected they would. I started to, after they put up 5 against Edmonton a couple weeks ago, I started to pick Jimmy the Bag's brain. I started to ask him, is LA, about to turn a corner offensively? Because regular viewers of this show will remember that LA team total unders were one of my semi-regular picks that helped build up my my NHL record over the year. And we can throw up the NHL record if you got it. You want to throw up the NHL record? That would be nice while I adjust my microphone here, my earpiece here. Yeah. Nice job, Jimmy the Bag and myself in NHL. So I'm not totally exactly sure what to make of LA offensively. I do think that in general, going forward, they're going to be a notch better than they were for most of the season. And I don't expect them to be, the big under trender on the road that they have been all year. They're 2-9 over under on the road. A big under trender at home, a big over trender. A big under trender on the road, a big over trender at home. And Detroit, playing a little bit better. And I guess I will make Detroit an official play here. I don't like the market move. But then again, if it was minus 130, I'd feel nervous about that as well. Eddie Euler likes Detroit at minus 110, and I will make that one an official pick. The Detroit Red Wings minus 110. I won't take on the money line. I won't take a minus 1, just minus 110. That's the current line at Pinnacle. And Bet Online right now. Other places are 116, minus 120. Definitely money coming in on LA here, which is a little bit concerning to me. We'll see where this is in the evening show, but a little bit concerning to me. And then again, Pittsburgh and the Islanders leaning under in the Detroit-LA game again. And if I take Detroit, I might do the old safe thing and buy up to 6 at a big line. Now, this is one of those games where I'm actually thinking that there might actually be some high volatility here. So when you're doing that thing where you're taking, where you're buying a point or a half point or a half run, you're betting into low volatility. So you want to take bigger favorite lines. If you think that there's going to be high volatility, you want to take as big dog lines as you possibly can, and you don't want to do things like buy to 6 and get a big favorite line. So let me just see what the line here would be for Detroit and LA. Buying to 6 would be minus 152 at Pinnacle. And the 5.5 is just minus 152. All right, I think I'm going to do both of these. I think I'm going to take Pittsburgh Islanders under 6.5 minus 105, and I'll take LA Detroit under 5.5 minus 115 at the Greek. All right, so I'll take that one. Again, let me write down my my play here. LA Detroit under 5.5 minus 115. LA Detroit under 5.5 minus 115, and Pittsburgh Islanders under 6.5 minus 105. Again, this one opened at 112 at Pinnacle, plus 112. So it's taken a big 17-cent move towards the under. Anytime you're taking an under with Pittsburgh, obviously it's a very treacherous thing to do, and especially against Lehner. High volatility here with Lehner. And actually what I might be, if with high volatility in this game, I expect high volatility in the Pittsburgh Islanders game as well. So maybe buying to 6 or 5.5 on the under might be the way to go, but you just get plus 119 for 6 and plus 139 for 5.5. So I'll just take the 6.5 minus 105. Hopefully Lehner is okay. And if he is, should be a good play. Let me see. Well, I'm sure some people are saying, don't do it, Pete, for the under in Pittsburgh and the Islanders. Troy V says, LA Detroit under is a good play. I'm on it. Took it. Minus 115 at the Greek. And then let's see what else we have. And then Farshad Hassami says, Kings and Pitts both under. Yeah, I took it. Corey Mack says, reverse line movement plays today. Islanders plus 120 and the Magic plus 3.5. Okay, I will copy and paste that as well. Thank you very much, Corey Mack. Yeah, the line has moved in the Islanders' favor. And pretty much anytime you have the Islanders at home as a home dog against Pittsburgh, you can assume that public money will be coming in on Pittsburgh. Let's see. Marcus Sebastian, where is Jimmy? He's just sick today. Well-deserved break. Flip Money says, I'm always here. This is the best show. Shout out to y'all. Y Dominicanos. Shout out to you, Flip Money. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. Yeah, Normel says 6.5, a lot of goals. Under is a good pick. I think so. That's right. And let me see. Rob Barube says, I'm thinking Detroit puck line has lots of value. Yeah, possibly. I mean, there is probably volatility with the Detroit-LA game. LA probably either puts up 5 or 1 or 0. I could see LA getting shut out. I could see them putting up 5 as well. So you're right. If LA gets shut out, it's probably, Detroit. I could easily see this being a situation where the Detroit puck line and the under cash. But I'm just going to stick with the money line for now, and I'm going to stick with the under on that game. Let me just see what the puck line would be for Detroit. Yeah, plus 245, which is big, but not super big. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. Other comments. Eddie Euler said, "No, I don't, Pete." What did I say? I didn't mean to put words in Eddie Euler's mouth. Oh, Eddie Euler says, I'm leaning Kings because I feel they've underachieved so badly and maybe have turned the corner with that Big 5 win over Vegas in their last game. Okay, I apologize for putting words in your mouth, Eddie Euler. I forgot. I thought that his post that I copied and pasted implied that he liked Detroit, but apparently that is not the case. I apologize, Eddie Euler. That will happen once in a while. When I'm doing this show solo, I will put words in people's mouths based on what they've posted that proves to not actually be the case. Not actually what they wanted to say. All right, let me just scan here, scanning for comments. Taking it easy on a Monday morning. I hope you all had a good weekend. Shout out from the Low Shack in the Bag show. Shout out from SBR Videos. Tom Marino says, I think the value is with Pittsburgh. Pitts looked good before the loss to Ottawa. I think Pittsburgh bounces back here, and they played better recently. Definitely they've been playing better recently. It's just that the Islanders have sneaky value at home in Nassau, and Jimmy the Bag talks about that all the time. All right, I'm looking for other. Rembo says you need elevator music when you have downtime looking at your sheets. Red Girl likes Kings under. Shout out to Red Girl. Black Baller, though, likes the advantage, has home advantage for Detroit. Let me see. I'm looking for other comments. Looking for other comments here. Thank you for watching the show while we have some downtime. Barshot Hassami says Kings will win and the total will go under. I might have made a mistake here taking Detroit. The Kings have definitely turned a corner offensively, and I'm definitely going to be looking for them to have sneaky value at their team total overs in upcoming games. I'm just not sure that this is a spot for that. I was liking Detroit, and I was liking the under, so then by definition, I would be liking the LA Kings team total under, which I'm not, which indicates to me that I might be thinking about this game incompletely or incorrectly. Maybe my real opinion is the Kings have value and as well as the under. Okay, Gin Rummy is the one who likes the Wings. Eddie Euler likes the LA Kings. Okay, and Q Peso likes the Rangers plus 215 banker. All right. We'll move on to NBA in a second. I just want to see if there's any NHL comments that are coming in. Ganja Gamer says, I don't trust Casey DeSmith. Neither do I. But, it's a high total here, and I'm going to go with the under. Troy V hitting us up with some soccer plays. Everton, Watford, both teams to score, and Girona, both teams to score. Okay. Looking over the comments, and that's it. All right, so that's it for the NHL. I'm going to take Detroit minus 110. Might be a mistake, but I am taking the Detroit game under 5.5 minus 115, and the Islanders under 6.5 minus 105. Both of those plays I'm okay with. My favorite play is probably the Detroit game under, I think. And then San Jose, New Jersey, I could see an over, maybe a first period over, but as of right now, I'm just going to hold off on that one. I mean, we should talk about that game, that one just a little bit. Obviously, New Jersey is San Jose playing very well. They are coming back off of a long trip. They had one home game against Carolina where they absolutely dominated, and so it's a little bit of a weird spot for San Jose, right? Coming back from a long trip off of just one day of rest. And the Devils are, of course, off of the OT loss on a back-to-back against Anaheim. So I was actually thinking that maybe because of the spot, the Devils on the first half money line might be worth a play. Sorry, first quarter, first period. first period money line might be worth a play. To start out early against San Jose, I could easily see that plus 148 at Pinnacle. That was the way I was thinking about this one. New Jersey first period. And I will take that one. I think there's enough. I think the spot is good enough and the line is big enough to warrant a play on it. So I'm gonna add that one on as well. New Jersey first period money line plus 148. New Jersey first period money line plus 148. So that's a fourth play that I'm going to take here in NHL, and that will be it. All right, let me just check comments, and then we'll move on to NBA. Okay. Moving on to the NBA card. Again, the NBA, I like to make I do very badly on the morning show with picks that I give in NBA. Let's start with Detroit, Philly. Detroit's on a back-to-back. Philly's been covering. Detroit's been losing ATS. The last game, Philly won at Detroit, and I'm thinking that the under. I was leaning under on this one at about 221.5. Let's see where that line has moved. If anyone has any opinions on Detroit, Philly, yeah. Still 221.5, down at 220 at Pinnacle. Sorry, 221 at Pinnacle. But I was thinking about a shot with Detroit and Philly on the under. Hold on, let me just close out all these things here and pull up my NBA notes. Sorry, guys, I am. Just give me a second. Pulling everything up here. Detroit and Philly. I was definitely leaning under in Detroit, Philly at about 221 or 221.5. Tell me what you think of this. Obviously, Philly is having issues with chemistry with Embiid and Butler. Although they have been winning and covering, and they got a nice win against Detroit in their last game, and I'm thinking that this one, I'm not sure I'd want to take Philly at minus 8.5 here, but I do feel like the under is a decent play. That was the play that I was leaning towards, and that's the way I'm thinking about. Any comments coming in? Let me see. What does anyone have here? Dragon Boy Gaming says, nice mustache, Pete. Elio Topset likes the Pistons to cover, and Tom Marino says, Philly's been a good under team since getting Butler, but the offense still isn't great because Philly lacks depth and great three-point shooting. So it seems like Tom Marino is leaning towards the under as well. Ganja Gamers, look at the Bucks team total under. Need help on the rest of the NBA card? Bad, LOL. Bob Berube says he took that one as well. Let me see. Let's see where King Rail is. King Rail, if you're in the building, shout it out and let us know what you think about this NBA card. Of course, he said that he likes Golden State, lock it in at minus 10. I'm looking for comments from King Rail here. Looking for comments from King Rail here for NBA. Corey Mack says Pistons game will go over. I mean, the first game went over. The last game they played went over. Went to 228. Tell us why you think that, Corey Mack. Jim Romzadu said Embiid's going to be pissed. He dominates Drummond. Yes. And Embiid has definitely been having some issues recently, not really feeling the chemistry, not in the groove, and presumably he will pick things up very, very soon, and that will result in more covers from Philly. Let's see. Jim Romzadu said NBA cards is nice tonight, and Ben Sportspicks 24/7 says Sixers play their best ball at home. Butler will have a big game tonight. So are you liking the Sixers to cover, or are you liking the total here? Because I was thinking that I didn't want to take a shot with Detroit, but I was thinking about the under. Tomria says a revenge game for Detroit since they lost to Philly at home, but Philly's been strong at home. I'd lean to Detroit in the under. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. Leaning Detroit and under. Gabriel Rodriguez, the King, likes the Pistons under. And Kyle Jack says Embiid questionable. You reckon he'll play tonight? I think he probably will play tonight. But he's probably going to have a good game. And Yaya says, look at Dan Kelly's Twitter with Mr. Peter, which I will in 1 second. That's one of the things I like to pull up when we talk about NBA. Ryan Watson likes Celtics -7 and the LA Lakers. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just copy and paste some stuff here, and I will go to Twitter to see what our friend, our man, our boy, Dan Kelly has to say about this NBA card. Let me just pull this up. Excuse me. Dan Kelly also had a great Friday in the comment section in our show. Yeah. Dan Kelly has a New Orleans Boston over 117. And the Milwaukee team total under, which is interesting. And Cleveland on the money line plus 835. That is a very interesting game. We can talk about that one right now. Cleveland against Milwaukee. Cleveland, of course, is Milwaukee's on a back-to-back. They won at Toronto, and of course, there was a huge, 3-team, 5-player trade involving these two teams. And that's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking that Cleveland catching 14 points. Let's see if that line has moved at all. Would be a side with value because of the trade. And it's now down to 13 or 13.5. It was 14 earlier. King Rail, what do you think? I was thinking about Cleveland plus the points and Milwaukee team total under. Let me see if Dan Kelly liked the Milwaukee also. Dan Kelly liked the Milwaukee team. That was exactly what I was thinking. The Milwaukee team total under. Total has gotten bet down a bit, 223 down to 220. I would have been leaning under as well, but more so the Milwaukee team total under. King Rail in the comment section. Shout out to King Rail. King Rail says under probably the play in the Detroit game. Back-to-back and dealing with injuries. And he likes the Kings, Golden State, and OKC are the bets that he's made. I was also liking OKC, and I was also thinking about a shot with the under in that one. We'll talk about that one in a second. But right now, I'm thinking about the Milwaukee team total under and Cleveland plus the points. Tom Marino says, I think Milwaukee is flat here off the big win against Toronto. Bucks have been overvalued on the road most of the year. Yeah. I mean, they're at home tonight, but still. Ganja Gamer says he loves King Rail's Golden State bet. Red Girl likes Kings in the under. Christopher Comatini Bulls a train wreck. Yes, we'll talk about that game in a second as well. Kings -2 against the Bulls. The Bulls do seem like an auto fade right now. And we'll talk about that. Tormina says, I think Embiid is fine. He called out the coaches in public, and I think they suspended him and claimed it was an injury. Yeah, I think Embiid is going to play tonight and have a solid, strong game. Let me see. What else do we have? What else do we have here? Comments coming in. Gabriel Rodriguez likes Pistons under. Elio Topset says Cleveland is a strong lean. All right, I will take just to start team total under with Milwaukee. Again, I usually don't like to do this. I usually like to keep my NBA plays, to make my NBA plays in the afternoon show, which has definitely served me well. Definitely served me well. My NBA record is still not good overall, but since I started being careful and making plays in the afternoon show, I've been doing a lot better, or a lot less shitty, as the case may be. And let me just see what the team total will be here for Milwaukee. Yeah, 116.5 minus 107. It's headed down. It's headed down. 116.5 minus 107. And at Heritage right now, 117. All right, I will take that one. I will make that one an official pick. Milwaukee Bucks, team total under 117 minus 110. That's the current line at Heritage. I would also be leaning the Cavs plus 13 or 13.5. And a vague lean to the under. And also leaning under in Philly, Detroit as well. I don't like the fact that Corey Mack says Piston games goes over, Pete. All right. Let's move on to the Orlando game. Dennis Cloak likes Orlando Magic money line, and King Rail likes Orlando as well, I believe. Oh no, not King Rail. It was Corey Mack who likes the Magic at plus 3.5, citing reverse line movement. Dennis Cloak likes Orlando Magic, and King Rail says Cavs suck, y'all. They're trying to gather draft picks. Don't back Cavs on the road. King Rail, watch King Rail's show, King's Court, 7:30 Eastern Time every night. Every weeknight. If you can't watch it live, watch it on repeat, on replay. The best NBA information day in and day out that I can recommend on YouTube, and not just valuable for each individual night's games, but for upcoming games, the upcoming week, upcoming 2 weeks. King Rail, what do you think about Orlando? Orlando might be the play here. Let me find my notes on this one. Let me refresh my memory here. Notes on this one. Yeah, it's understandable why money, of course, will be coming in on Dallas, right? Dallas has been rolling. Orlando, no slouch either, though. And Orlando was like, in their last game that I looked at with Orlando at Miami, I liked them in that one. I bet them on the second half in that one. I don't remember if I tweeted out second half, but I definitely liked it. And I can see Orlando being a sneaky good play here. It's hard to bet against Dallas right now. They're winning, they're covering, they've got momentum, they're good. But I could see modest value with Orlando. Yeah, Melvin Morrell likes Magic plus 4. King Rail, what do you think about the Magic here? Tom Marino says Dallas playing well at home. Yeah, they're playing great in general. Orlando still has issues at the point. Dallas's guard play is much better. And Dav Fenn likes the over in the Magic Mavs game. Red Girl leaning Dallas. Yeah, I was thinking about the over in this one as well, which makes me think that maybe Orlando team total over might be worth a shot. I like team totals in NBA because it protects me against against a bad call on a side or a total. 104 at Heritage. At Pinnacle, it is 104. Headed down though. I was thinking about a shot with the Orlando team total over at just 104. They're playing well. Dallas playing great, but they're scoring a lot. I'm thinking about this. I'm kicking it around in my mind. Anyway, a lot of people are leading Orlando here, and I was thinking about the Orlando team total over. Chris Comatini says, yeah, not putting my money on trash teams like Orlando. I don't know if I'd call them a trash team. I'd call them inconsistent. I don't know if I'd call them a trash team. Dennis Cloak says, yes, I like Orlando team total over, and I'll take the chance with the money line. Eddie Euler, Orlando, 10-16 under on the season, which is why, though, this total is so modest, They've been a slight under-trending team, for sure. And especially, recently, over the past 10 games or so. They've been trending under. But Dallas is a big over-trender at home. And not necessarily holding team, and they're getting their wins, offensively, not necessarily because they're holding teams under 100 points game in and game out. So I'd be leaning Orlando team total over there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Tomio says Orlando's a good bet against Eastern Conference teams and as a dog at home. On the road, as a dog against Western Conference, I think they're overvalued here. And Pie Guy 9871, I like the Mavs. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so let's move on to another NBA game that is into the OKC game, right? Utah's on a back-to-back. They lost at the Spurs. OKC's off a loss. And I was thinking under here. Let me just pull up my notes for this game. Utah against OKC. Thanks, everyone, for bearing with me. NBA is not my forte, especially early. And I have a lot of notes here and a lot of games that I have to look into. OKC, of course, strong defensive team, although they do trend slightly over at home. OKC off a loss. I think OKC is probably the play here, and I would be leaning under, and I would be leaning Utah team total under as well. Let me know what you think about that. Total has not moved at all in the Utah OKC game, which is interesting. 218.5 or 219. I would have expected a little bit of movement to the under. That's what I would have expected. And in fact, there was some movement to the under from opening, and now it's crept back up, which makes me a little bit nervous and suspicious. Also leaning Utah here. OKC here, along with King Rail, who is leaning OKC. -5.5 or 5. That line has gone in Utah's favor a little bit. So the general recent market movement has been towards Utah and the over. My leans were OKC and the under. My thought is that I trust the market more than my own opinion on this one in this game. Let's see. Troy V likes Clippers first quarter -2.5. Joe Hill likes OKC. Tomir says Utah was playing great before the loss to the Spurs in a look-ahead spot. OKC has struggled with Utah's defense since Gobert keeps Westbrook out of the paint, and OKC struggles with three-point shooting. Farshad Hassami leaning under. I was as well. Leaning under in the Utah OKC game. The initial movement was to the under. The recent movement was to the over, which makes me nervous. Everyone looked like in the Clippers, first half, first quarter. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Copying and pasting information here. Kyrie Irving is out. Irving has been listed out for the Celtics tonight. All right, we'll talk about that game in a second. Yeah, the Celtics game is now off. So let's wait until that line is put up there. Ben Sports Pick 24/7. OKC with the overrepeat. Utah defense is trash, and OKC will run the points up on them tonight. So right. That would explain the line movement to the over. Hugh Peso likes OKC, and Melvin Morrell likes Utah +5. So maybe the OKC team total over, which is up there, 111. 112 at Pinnacle. Yeah, you think OKC is going to run up the score here? Or do you think they're just going to play some decent defense and get a modest-paced, modest-scoring win? Not exactly sure. I'm going to have to think about this one. I was initially leaning under and OKC. Now I'm thinking that maybe the OKC team total over would be the best way to go. Let's look at some. See, Nelson Reynoso. OKC wins 105-97. That's the way I was initially thinking. A modest scoring game with OKC with small value on the spread. I'm just looking for some other comments coming in, and then we will move on. Eddie Euler. I have the Utah OKC game at 214. So Eddie Euler also leaning under. Yeah, I mean, this line could easily drop back down to 216 by first tip. King Rail follows this stuff inside and out. Westbrook doesn't like Mitchell. OKC will burn Jazz at home tonight. Right. So, King Rail, if you think OKC is going to burn the Jazz at home tonight, is that because you think they're going to run up the score as suggested by others here, or that it's going to be a modest scoring game, they're going to play good, solid defense, and it's going to be an under game, and the best bet might be Utah team total under? King Rail, if you think that OKC will burn the Jazz at home tonight, would you prefer Utah team total under or OKC team total over? Let us know, King Rail. Would love to know. Once again, watch King's Court, 7:30 Eastern Time every weeknight. Invaluable, indispensable NBA analysis. And if you don't know what both of those words mean, they're both good. They're both compliments. Invaluable and indispensable, those are compliments I just gave to King's Court. Tell us what you think, King's Court. Would you prefer OKC team total over or Utah team total under? Ron Lofton says, been making money against my Suns all season. Why stop now? Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Mouse is gone. All right, one more time to plug this thing in, and then we might go to the wired mouse. Here we go. Ray Williams says, Mavs paintbrush the Magic tonight. Melvin Morrell says, I have to start playing team totals, Peter. Yes. And I talk about this a lot. Team totals can be the best way to play these games because if you have small leans on a side and a total, they enhance each other, and you can have a much bigger lean on the team total than you have on either the side or the total. And a team total can protect yourself against a wrong read on a side or a total. So if you like a total and you think you have a certain read on the and you want to bet the total, but you think you have a certain read on the side, but you're not sure about it, it protects yourself if it turns out that your read on the total turns out to be wrong, but your thoughts on the side turn out to be right. It protects you a little bit. We see this all the time. Teams losing against the spread, but still covering a team total over. Teams winning against the spread, but still losing, winning a team total under. And that's one of the reasons why I do like to play team totals more than anything else. All right, let's see. Tom Marino says Mitchell's defense was great on Westbrook in the playoffs last year. I don't see this being any different. King Rail has an answer. Jazz team total under is the better bet in my opinion, Pete, but I don't bet team totals. OKC will play tighter defense. Jazz don't play any at times. Right. So the total on this game is a tough read, which is why there was a big market move to the under to start and then a big market move to the over recently. Okay. Corey Mack says, good bet, Pete. Which one? Which bet did I make, Corey Mack? The only official play I've made right now is the Bucks team total under 117. Brian Watson says St. Mary's minus 12.5 in Pacific. We will talk about college basketball in a second. And let's get and then Vincent Ferrara says King spread a trap. Okay, let's talk about that game. King Rail. I hope you're still there because this is the biggest trap question mark game of maybe even the week, right? Because obviously the Bulls are a dumpster fire. And as we know in professional sports, a lot of times correctly identifying dumpster fires can be one of the most profitable things to do in all of sports. Dumpster fires, towel tossers, whatever you want to talk about, whatever label you want to give, a team that is just an auto fade and the market will not catch up. Now, I had the Bulls first quarter against OKC a few days ago, and that one cashed against OKC, Bulls first quarter, and they actually, of course, wound up winning that game outright as a big dog. And then the next game was just an absolute disaster against Boston, of course, the 55-point loss, and they just looked absolutely discombobulated, disinterested. There was just they're struggling to figure out the new coach and his schemes and everything. And the question is, how can a team, one game, get a nice outright win as a big dog against a quality team in OKC, and then get blown the F out the next day on a back-to-back, and what is likely to happen here. And the Kings, of course, have been a good bet all season long. One of the teams that I've been looking to bet on, home and road. Solid ATS team, home and road, and in all situations. They're also coming off of a loss, right, to Indiana. And you got to figure that they're going to come back here and have a solid, competent game. And Chicago, even if they do improve, substantially from the Boston game, the problems are still probably there. But these small road favorites where you're going against a dumpster fire home dog and the line is suspiciously low and the line moves in the home dog's favor so many times, that indicates to you that the home dog is the right play. Now let's look at the line movement here. Not much line movement. Open to 2.5, still at 2.5, although bookmaker and some other places are leaning very, very, ever so slightly towards Chicago. But no real clear market movement here. Pinnacle just bouncing back and forth, -110, -109, -108. Chicago, if this line is 2 by the 6 o'clock show, I'm almost definitely going to take Chicago. But it does feel like Sacramento is just a no-brainer, don't overthink it play here. King Rail says, have to fade the Bulls. They go ice cold second half and can easily get blown out any quarter. Plus, Dunn is a game time decision and the chemistry wasn't already bad. This won't help. Tomarino says, Bulls looked like they wanted to make a statement that they didn't like the coach and they quit. Yeah. It seems like the right thing to do here would be to take Sacramento. There's just dissension here within the Bulls team. They got their win against OKC, but now it's just the energy, the vitality isn't there. They might cover the first quarter as they've been doing all season long, but full game feels like at some point the bad chemistry is going to reveal itself. And Tom Marino says, I'd lean to the Bulls off a humiliating loss, but the Bulls spoke out against the coach. Ray Williams says, don't take the Bulls. Christopher Camatini says, Bulls don't have the talent. Troy V says, don't you think the Bulls want to play really hard and win this game? Maybe this is a trap. Troy V, the situation with the Bulls, though, it seems like they're just not on the same page with the coach. And in those kinds of situations, going up against another team that's sort of dumpster fire-ish, yes, sometimes teams can have value, but going up against a team like Sacramento that has some life, has some vitality to them, feels like at some point the dysfunction within the Bulls is going to show itself, and they will start falling behind big time. Whether it's second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, at some point that's going to happen. Luna Star likes the Bulls first half. Melvin Morrell, Kings team total over. Now we're thinking, yeah, the defense is probably going to be where it's lacking, where things are lacking most for Chicago. The high total, though, 114. High total, though, 114. All right. I think I might take the. I'm just going to check what the Sacramento money line here is. If it's not that much, what could I get on the Sacramento money line? Yeah, -130 at the Greek. -130 at the Greek. All right, I'm going to take this one. I don't think the Bulls are going to win this one outright. I'm going to take Sacramento Kings money line -130. That's the current line at the Greek. That's a second play for me. I understand that the Bulls might bounce back here off the horrible loss. Recency bias from the Boston game. But Sacramento's a solid team. I think the dysfunction within the Bulls might be fundamental. And I'm going to take Sacramento money line -130 at the Greek. That's an official play. Could easily see the Bulls being up by 8 at the half and Sacramento winning outright anyway. All right, let's see some other comments coming in. And then we'll move on. Michael Munoz likes Pelicans first half +4 is the play. AD banged up but still playing good. Yeah, AD is banged up. Eddie Euler says, we need some leadership to step up. King Rail says, Bulls have too many players at the same position. No guard play. Kings are a better team. Don't back the Bulls here. Donald Trump says, the odds are fair, although Sacramento seems like the quote-unquote logical pick. This line move will be very telling. If this is 1.5 in the evening show, I might pull it and go on Chicago. Rob Portuando, okay, why did the Boston line drop? Because Irving is out. All right, and then let's just quickly talk about the New Orleans game. Where is that one? New Orleans, Boston. I was thinking about the under before Irving was announced out, though. So that total is probably, yeah, it's all the way down to 223 at Pinnacle. 227 is where it was. I was leaning under, but now the line has crashed because of the Irving announcement, and that makes me nervous. So I'm going to stay off that one. I'm going to stay off that one for now. If Irving was in and the total was still at 227, I probably would have thrown on the under as an official play. Sacktown King says Bulls are not ready for the speed the Kings bring. Norm L says Boston is better off without Kyrie. Yeah. Boston actually might wind up being a play, -4 or so. I could easily see Boston being a play. Especially since Marcus Smart called him out, said we have to start playing better, and they've been on a roll since then. Now that the line has dropped with Irving out, could easily see one more time the Celtics being an official play, but I'm going to hold off on that one for now. Michael Munoz likes Celtics team total under 117. I'd be thinking the other way. I'd be thinking not Celtics team total over, but Pelicans team total under. Pelicans team total under, which right now would be 110. That was before the market move. Oh man, Pelicans team total under 110. I missed it, didn't I? What would it be now? Oh, just 109.5 though. Yeah. I'd be leaning Pelicans team total under 109.5. And actually at Pinnacle, also 110. I'm sorry, at Heritage 110. I might make this one an official play here. What do you guys think about that? Pelicans team total under at 110. Pelicans team total under at 110. I know they just had a huge game against Detroit. But Anthony Davis is a little bit banged up. Still banged up. Let me just find this one. Yeah, Pelicans team total under 110 at Heritage. I will take that one. I'll make that one an official pick as well. Pelicans team total under 110 -110. That's the current line at Heritage. Down to 109.5 at Pinnacle. Ben Sports Pick says Boston defense been on point. Tomiro says I think Boston is flat. Well, with players out, I'm not game. Yes, there you go. Ben Sports Picks. Pelicans team total under. Lock it in. I just did. 110 -110. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Red Girl liking the Boston Celtics team total under. Sacktown King says Kings play well after a loss. Shout out to Sacktown King coming in and giving us not inside info, but he obviously follows them day in and day out. All right. Donald Trump says, honestly, I think the Celtics can compensate the fact their best players are missing. I agree. I think with Irving out and the line out at -4, I'd be liking the Celtics more than with Irving in and -7. And I definitely took the Pelicans team total under 110, -110. And I might add on Celtics -4, whatever it is in the afternoon show. All right, I guess that's it for NBA for now. We didn't get to all the games, but hopefully Jimmy the Bag will be back in the afternoon show. Maybe not, and we'll discuss all the other games again. King Rail said, take Golden State -10, lock it down right now. But and a lot of people liking the Clippers first half and first quarter against the Suns. We've been fading the Suns pretty much nonstop, and that might be something we want to do once again here, no-brainer style. But okay. Oh, let me see. Corey Mack says, I definitely would not bet the Kings tonight. Line is bait, -2.5 against the horrible Bulls. They're begging you to take the Kings. Don't do it. Yes. But I want to see where the line moves, Corey Mack. If that drops to 1.5 by 6 o'clock Eastern time, I will be agreeing with you. If it's up to 3, maybe not. We'll see. All right. So let's quickly move on to college basketball. That's it for NBA. We didn't cover all the games, but that's okay. We covered as much as we could. College basketball, a few plays I am liking. St. Mary's minus the points. St. Mary's minus the points against where is it? St. Mary's minus the points. Yeah, it's getting bet up. from 12.5. It's still 12.5 at Heritage, and I will grab St. Mary's right now, 12.5 minus 110. St. Mary's minus 12.5 minus 110. That's the current line at Heritage. I think St. Mary's just has too much of an advantage here over Fullerton. The numbers tell me that St. Mary's, the things I look at tell me that St. Mary's at minus 12.5 is worth a play, and I will take that one. Make that one an official pick. St. Mary's minus 12.5. I was also thinking about a shot with which one? With the under in Long Beach State and Pacific, right? Let me find that one. Where is it? Yeah, the Long Beach State under. It was about 152 when I first looked at it. Let me see if that one has moved at all. Yes, it has. Ah, man, missed it. Down to 150.5. Ah. All right, I'll take it anyway. I should have tweeted it out at 152, but now I can get 150.5 minus 110 at Bet365 and a few other places, and I will add that one on. Long Beach State, Pacific, under 150.5 minus 110. I liked it at 152. That was where I capped it. And now at 150.5. Should have tweeted it out, but I just didn't do it. Also, I know that some people that we respect thinking that maybe Hofstra Manhattan over at 130 might be a good play. Manhattan, of course, has been a very, very low-scoring team this year, but they can be brought up into higher-scoring games. And this might be a situation where the total is very low because of what Manhattan has done all season long. But that it's a little bit overreacting because of Manhattan's year-long stats and not indicative of what's likely to happen here. Let me just go on here. Closing out so much stuff here. Let's see if any comments are coming in on college basketball. Corey Mack says, trust the market, not these teams. Of course, I do trust the market, Corey Mack. Although, as we have seen, the market is definitely not always right. But you make a great point about the Bulls game, and I'll be very, very curious to see where this line is by 6 o'clock Eastern time. This line might easily be 3.5 Sacramento, and if it is, I'm not sure if that's the market begging us to take Sacramento anymore in a trap situation. Yeah, Brian Watson says St. Mary's. Yes, Pete, I've already made that an official play. Other comments coming in. King Rail says, I told you guys to take Kings on Friday. Y'all took the Cavs. How did that work out? This is the exact same spot here for the Kings. Take Bulls if you want, though. Yeah, Maxwell Smart. The total went down from 153 to 150. Let me see. Maxwell Smart comments here on College Hoops. Where is he, Maxwell Smart? Can't find Maxwell Smart's comment. Maxwell Smart, do you agree with my play on Pacific? I'm going with it. Under 150.5 minus 110. I wish I had gotten the 153 or 152 where it opened. And I'm taking St. Mary's minus 12.5. And it might be the case that the Manhattan game over is worth a shot. Just looking for comments here. Corey Mack is saying that it's staying at 2.5 with 68% on the Kings equals loser. But it hasn't moved the other way, though, Corey Mack. Which tells me that the Sharps are staying off of it for now. Ray Williams says line is already getting bet up. They're trying to bait you to take the Bulls. All right, that is definitely the most interesting game of the card, officially. Yeah, okay, there you go. Maxwell Smart agreeing with the Pacific game under 150.5. Don't think it will matter. Okay. Trenton Claxton likes the Marshall first half over. Yeah, of course, we know what Marshall likes to do. I'm not sure about that game. The situation makes me a little bit nervous, and I was also leaning Marshall minus the points as well against Morehead State. That line has gotten bet down, though. Wow, and the St. Mary's line is bouncing all over the place. It was up to 13 recently. Now it just dropped back down to 12. So some pullback coming back in on Fullerton. That is very interesting. I definitely feel like I like the Pacific game under more. We'll see where this St. Mary's line moves because it settles. Because it's bouncing all around right now. Getting bet up, getting bet down. Interesting shit here. I took the Pacific under, and I'll make that one an official play. And I know some people liking the Manhattan and Hofstra over at 130. And Marshall Morehead State, obviously the over is the first thing you would think of. I'm going to pass on that one for now. And now let's just move on to NFL. We talked about this a lot in the beginning of the show. All the big NFL comments came in the beginning of the show. The majority of people here definitely liking Seattle -3, but some heavy hitters from the LoBag chat comment section liking Minnesota. And the big question here is just, the defensive front for Minnesota. How much will they be able to get to Wilson? How much will the injuries in Minnesota's secondary matter here? Lockett might have a big day. Someone already suggested that Lockett to score the first touchdown of the game at plus 900 is a good play. Other people suggesting that Seattle rushing props over are good bets, and Wilson props over in general are good bets. We know that Wilson tends to come on stronger during at the end of the season. Minnesota's banged up. The big question here is just how much will Seattle be able to hold off Minnesota's ferocious defensive front. And I'm willing to bet that they'll be able to. Let me just look where the line is now. Yeah, it's 3. Nothing crazy. And I will take Seahawks -3, -109 as an official play. Seahawks -3, -109 as an official play. The safe thing to do would be to take the money line at -160 at the Greek. Could easily see the Seahawks winning this one by 3 or 2 or 1. Let me just pull up my notes here. My extensive notes here. Hold on one second. My extensive notes here. Just give me 1 second. I want to find my extensive notes here that I took on this show on this game before. Please just bear with me for 1 second, and we'll talk about it. Yeah. I'm liking Seattle. Don't like Kirk Cousins as a quarterback in this spot. And the Seahawks are just improving as the season goes on. I actually had the Seahawks team total, season win total under, which was a bad read on the team. They definitely improved as the season went on and started to do better and better than people were expecting and people had them forecast for. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. They're doing better as the season went on, as the season moves on. Yeah, Vikings have a big advantage in rush defense. Obviously, that's a big issue. Seattle has advantages, with their offense, though. And I think that really is what's going to loom important here. I just like Wilson. I just like the rushing game for Seattle. And I think Seattle probably is the side with value. You want to be safe, take him -160. I'll take him at -3, -109. But I'm going to make that one an official play. Bob Berube says, I am a Seahawk fanatic and didn't think they would win 6 games at the beginning of the year. Yeah, Bob Berube, they definitely, obviously in the NFL this happens, sometimes because of quarterback injuries, sometimes because of head coaching changes or key player injuries, but the Seahawks have just done better than we were expecting at the beginning of the year. Leo Max says, fade Cousins in prime time. Rostradamus going to be a playoff atmosphere. Michael Munoz, over might be a play here. Play guy, 9871 says, Cousins is good for a pick. Yeah. I think Cousins to throw an interception might be a good prop. He's kind of benefited from intercept from in the turnover department recently. Jason Walker rolling with the Hawks. Rostradamus, the stadium's going to be rocking. And people are liking the over. Dab fan, I don't love a side, but Cousins will score a couple times. Give me over 46. Maybe the Seattle team total over is decent as well. Brant Hunt says Seahawks are going to roll. Brant Hunt, great bet, Pete. But Melvin Morrell likes Vikings +3 in the over. Greg Schneider, Vikings rush defense is really good. Yes, I know. That is their big strength here. Careful with the rushing props. Yes, that is their big strength. That's the big question here. How much will their rushing defense and their front be able to dominate? That's their big advantage in this game with the rush defense. No question about that. Farshad Asami likes first half over. Darryl Lyles likes the under. Wow, Hattori Hanzo says I'd even take the alternative spread. Vikings -2.5. Damn. Leo Mack hitting us up with a soccer play. All right. So there are some conflicting opinions here. The opinions are coming in on the Vikings. I'd say it's about 60%, 65% in favor of Seattle. But Vikings coming in. Oh my God. Troy V likes Long Beach State money line. Really? Wow. Hold on. Let me go back down to that one. Long Beach State money line against Pacific. Interesting. Yeah, all right. I'm just looking at, all right, so Hattori Hanzo likes the Vikings money line. Big issue is Vikings rush defense. And I'm going to take Seattle -3. Jimmy Legs 06 likes 27-17 Hawks. PMC 05 likes the Seahawks -3. Elio Top says take the over and go to bed at the half. Corey Mack, going to back a team with 70% consensus on them, and the line is moving reverse. Go ahead and bet the Kings. You got it. But Corey Mack, it hasn't moved, though, in the Bulls' favor. It's not 2 or 1.5. It just hasn't moved, which is understandable. I mean, if the public comes in big on a side and there's no sharp action on the other side, that's what you would expect. You would not expect the line to move at all, which doesn't necessarily mean that the public side is wrong. And we see that all the time in NFL. Right, Corey Mack? Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Corey Mack. The line has not moved in the Bulls' favor. Money's coming in on Sacramento, but there hasn't been, I mean, there's been an incredibly tiny movement in favor of the Bulls, but not that solid move that tells you, all right, the market's trying to tell you something. It didn't drop to 2. It didn't drop to 1.5. There's just a lot of money coming in on the road favorite, and that's it. No clear movement in favor of the home dog, which tells you that I'm not being contrarian here, Corey Mack. I'm just trying to think things out with you. All right. Darryl Lyles says Seattle. Yeah. Dabfen says 27-24, not sure which team wins. And let me just quickly, the total is about 45.5 or 46. And so the Seattle team total over, anything under 25 might be worth a play. I doubt 24 is available. You're probably going to have to take 24.5 if you like the Seattle team total over. That might be worth a shot as well. 24 would be a gift. Yeah, 24.5 at Heritage. Let me just quickly check what Pinnacle has. And 23.5 at Pinnacle, but minus 143. So you're really paying for it. So that has gotten bet way up. That might be not a bad play there either. Seattle team total over 23.5, even at minus 143. I know Minnesota has the ferocious rush defense, and I know that'll neutralize Seattle's strength. Maybe they'll pass the ball more, though. That Seattle team total over, even at minus 143, very, very tempting. Real tempting. I'll hold off on it for now, though. I'm only going to stick with Seattle -3. All right. That's it for the show. Thanks so much, everyone. Once again, my official plays in NHL. New Jersey first period money line, plus 148. Pittsburgh Islanders, under 6.5, minus 105. LA Detroit, under 5.5, minus 115. And Detroit, minus 110. That might have been a mistake. The market is moving in the Kings' favor, but I made that one an official play. Maybe I'll do the weak sauce thing and take it back in the afternoon show. We'll see. NBA, Milwaukee Bucks, team total under 117. Sacramento Kings, money line, minus 130. Pelicans, team total under 110. In college basketball, St. Mary's, I took minus 12.5, minus 110, and Long Beach State Pacific under 150.5, and an NFL Seattle -3, minus 109. That's it for today's show. I'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Jimmy the Bag may be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Time with me. I love you all. Thanks so much for bearing with me on a lethargic Monday morning, helping me break down all these lines, helping me think through all this stuff, giving us so much valuable information as always. I love you so much. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Time.